Hi Fad Campers, it's Grace here and I have some new stand updates I'd love to tell you about. If you're based in the UK, I will be doing some dates in July and August and I'd love to see some of you there. I'll be in Leeds doing a work in progress with Amy Annette on July 4th in the Hyde Park Book Club. I'll be in Brighton on July 6th with Alison Spittle in the Comedia Comedy Club, and I'm going to be doing my own work in progress show in Glasgow on July 12th at Good Egg Comedy. Also then, I will be at the Edinburgh Fringe, of course, for the entirety of August, from July 30th to August 24th. I'll be at the Assembly George's Square, the Crate, 10 to 3 every day. Would love if you could tell anyone you know who's going to be at the Edinburgh Fringe to come see my show. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
This show is part of the Head Stuff Podcast Network.
Hi guys, Grace here, your favourite presenter from Fad Camp. As you well know, I am a stand-up comedian and I'm doing a few dates around the UK. So if you're in any of these areas, please come see my show if you can. I would love to see you there. I'm doing some work in progress shows, which you'll get to see me do all new material, try and fail on stage, but we'll have a great time. So I'm going to be in London. I'm doing Top Secret March 6th. That's Top Secret, so you can check it out. Angel, I'm doing April 11th, and then I'm doing another show on Top Secret June 15th. If you are in Scotland, I'm doing the Glasgow International Comedy Festival May 21st, and Brighton. I'm going to be there in Brighton. I'm doing the Brighton Fringe May 30th. You can find all of these details on my Instagram page. That's Grace Mulvey Comedy. You can see the Linktree account there, and you just click on the link in my bio and it'll have all the details. Thanks.
What's the best way to reduce? Eat plenty or starve yourself?
30 pounds in just 18 weeks. Jenny Craig totally worked.
I love to eat, but overeating made it impossible to lose weight.
My body wants bread, and I'm going to give my body what it wants.
Oh my God.
So I lost
Naturally.
Medical studies prove that overeating is the number one reason for weight gain. If you need help losing weight, use safe and natural sweet away and bring your weight down without the use of
Welcome to Fad Camp, a podcast that throws a comedy eye over our societal obsession of diets. Now, a little disclaimer, we are not health experts, but we are fad diet connoisseurs. I'm your host, comedian Grace Mulvey.
And I'm your co-host, Conor Dowling.
Welcome to Fad Camp.
Hey everyone, welcome to a brand new episode of Fad Camp. Grace, how's it going?
I'm fantastic. Can't wait for this episode. I kind of actually, you mentioned what this episode's about, but I've never heard of it before, so can't wait to dive right in.
Oh, I'm excited. Well, Grace, I'll start by asking you the simple question that you should have an answer for. If you don't have an answer for it, I'll be shocked. Grace, when is your carniversary?
What? What's the carniversary?
Well,
Wait, is this another thing I'm failing at life? What am I not doing? Okay.
It's in the name. Carniversary, carnivore.
Oh, okay.
So the carniversary is the day you started the carnivore diet.
Okay, so I don't have a carniversary because I never did. Well, from
let's
what I
make
can
that
tell.
today. Today is that the
I'd
start.
love if you're like, Grace, today's the day you need to lose weight. I'm like, okay, Connor, I don't know what we've been doing this podcast
Bring
for.
him in, a team come into the studio.
We're going to weigh you live on this podcast. I'm like, are you trying to kill me?
Yeah, so today we're talking about the carnivore diet, which is basically the opposite of veganism.
Oh,
And
this is so interesting because you're a vegan, I'm vegetarian.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And exactly. So since I'm a vegan, I was very interested in learning more about this diet. It's honestly one I've wanted to cover a few times before, but I was constantly just grossed out by it.
Yeah.
And sometimes a little tempted by it.
Connor, this
I
coming
know.
from the man who famously says, fuck milk.
F milk, save the animals, all that stuff.
And you're like...
I'm a bad vegan. I don't know what I'm saying.
And then you're like, do you know what I'd love? Just a big hunk of meat.
Covered in butter.
Yeah.
No, so I've been seeing a lot of people on my Instagram feed more and more recently. I've been hearing whispers about it the past few years on various podcasts here and there, various vegan variety shows.
Right.
And publications will often have to comment about something that's happening around, the carnivore diet. because it can be quite combative. It can be quite like, all vegans must die, you know, like
Connor, because I've never heard of this, I'm like, is there some army out there hunting vegans?
Basically, it's kind of like a secret war that's happening between carnivores and vegans.
Much like the culture war. It just feels like there's division all over. Yeah,
exactly. You know, it's going to be a civil war, but.
I'm just going to say the vegans are going to lose.
I know. I'm worried. I am worried because these guys like to hunt. These carnivores, they like to hunt.
And like vegans are famously passive.
Yes. And and Joe Rogan is their king.
Yeah.
You know.
Who's your king then?
Our king is Earthling Ed.
Who the hell is Earthling Ed?
I feel bad that you don't know who Earthling Ed is. He is a beautiful soul based in the UK, and he does a lot of work. This is just a chance to talk about like vegan charities, but he's part of a charity called Surge, and they do a lot of amazing outreach and activism towards ending the unnecessary suffering of animals.
I mean, that's amazing, but can this guy fight? Because Joe Rogan is going to destroy him in the war.
The thing about Earthling Ed is his weapons are his words. He is the most amazing speaker. But if you put him in a ring with some of these carnivore guys, I'd be a little bit worried.
Like, Joe Rogan is like linked to the UFC. So
exactly. Okay. Although, I would love to see Earthling Ed do an interview on the Joe Rogan show. And he would.
Oh, yeah.
He would show up, you know what I mean? And have a very civilized conversation. Some amazing vegan activists, not so much. They wouldn't be able to actually just like stand in the same room as people like Joe Rogan. But I've been seeing, aside from the vegan movement, just on my Instagram feed, people who I kind of know and people who are into fitness and you know, dieting and stuff like that are posting a lot of content around, you know, their carnivore diet experience. You know, it's hard sometimes when you see the kind of like benefits and stuff that people are claiming to experience on certain diets. It's hard not to feel that sense of like, oh, maybe there's something to this, you know?
Well, that's what dieting feeds into all the time. And just, I mean, for everyone to know, I'm not exactly sure when we're releasing this episode, but we're recording at the beginning of January. So like, this is
a great Veganuary episode.
Veganuary episode. But what I'm saying is like, you know, we're at a time when actually we're the most vulnerable to any sort of advertising or just people posting. Like I'm the same. Like I almost, there's some very funny people I follow online who are kind of posting about dieting they're going to start doing, and like as well, they're allowed to do that. But I just unfollow them, and not because I won't follow them again. And it's not, but it's just more like I actually can't see that. It just does affect me. You know what I mean?
Does.
And so even when you even if it's a passive post where someone's like, "This is what I do," you do kind of, it infiltrates your head.
Yeah.
It almost incepts the idea into your head, and you're like, "Oh, maybe I should be doing this diet," even with all the knowledge we have about how diets don't work.
Absolutely, and no shame to the people who are, you know, getting health benefits and feeling better about themselves while doing this thing. Honestly, I really want to make that clear. It's just, there are a lot of concerning aspects to it. Yeah. And then from, you know, a personal perspective, when you do see these things, like you're saying, it's hard not to be essentially kind of triggered by them, you know.
With the history I have, and with the history a lot of people have, it just brings up all the old things where you're like, oh, this is what I should be doing.
Right.
What am I doing? Just out there enjoying my life like a big stupid idiot. I should be on these diets. Yeah.
Absolutely. So what do you think? I mean, I'm sure there's, it sounds pretty obvious, but what do you think the carnivore diet consists of?
So I'm imagining it's very like the paleo diet.
Sure.
That's what it's trying to bring up for me. So I'm imagining a lot of meats, a lot of nuts, possibly an avocado or two. Not a carb to be seen. They're going to slap those carbs out of your bleeding hand. I see a lot of spears. I see a lot of wild hunting.
Okay,
I see some guy running through the woods trying to follow a boar.
See, this is where we make the diet that bit more interesting than it actually is.
If anything, I need it to be a bit more action-y, a diet. You know what I mean? I need a little bit of life and death if I'm going to do this. Do you know what I mean?
So, yeah, because we know, like you're saying about the paleo diet, we know about high protein diets, okay? The diet world is obsessed and highly misinformed about the macronutrient protein.
Yeah.
And a lot of fat diets encourage dieters to overload on as much protein or protein as possible.
Stop,
no, that's
Connor.
what I call it.
You just coin protein.
I think so.
Connor Dowling. Starting 2024 like an absolute boss.
I do a little bit of writing. You know.
That needs to be a little trademark right then and there. Protein, are you joking? By the way, if you made a protein powder called Protein,
it would
set
sell.
off the first of all, get it into
we got to get on Dragon's Den. We got to get on Shark Tank.
First of all, just straight into Joe Rogan's hands.
Yes.
That thing is off the shelves.
That's where me and Joe would see eye to eye, okay? Joe's protein, yeah.
Yeah.
So the keto diet, the paleo diet, the slow carb diet, and the slow carb diet, which is one I did before, and I've told, our listeners about the many years I spent in my youth with lots of meat in my mouth. These diets...
Sorry.
I'm
just sometimes I'm a child.
I don't
Go
know
on.
what you're laughing at, Grace. These diets, they do kind of tend to evolve,
Yeah.
So what was... the slow carb diet, it didn't become that, but people who were doing that maybe were like, oh, maybe I'll do paleo. And then after that, they were like, oh, maybe I'll do keto, And then the keto was kind of like the step before carnivore, right? But how is the carnivore different from these things and what are its claims? So unlike most high protein diets that encourage low carb, the carnivore diet is zero carb, okay?
Shut up.
Zero carb.
Oh my God, no.
So when people think of carbs, they think of filling food like bread and grains, potatoes, spaghettis,
and
rice,
just joy,
cereals,
and
fun times, comfort, feeling full,
being alive,
being able to eat in a restaurant, having a meal with your family and loved ones,
being able to do a poo, one would imagine,
once or twice,
Yeah.
But things like vegetables and beans are also carbohydrates.
No, Connor.
Yes, they just release their energy slower than their fast-acting starchy pals like bread and stuff. So when we demonize carbs, we go bread and spaghetti and stuff. But vegetables, fruits, like they have a carbohydrate-like response in your body. Now, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a health expert, but that's my very basic, diet understanding of it from years of having to know what happens when you're on a diet.
I think we can safely say that we're like, vegetables, you should have some.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm not a health expert, but hey, have a vegetable. It's great.
So carnivore dieters basically say F you to all these food groups and prioritize meat and animal products. So most people who follow the diet are driven by desire to lose weight or address an autoimmune condition, skin problems, hormonal issues. And as you can imagine, it's not exactly complementary to living a rich and varied lifestyle.
Yeah.
We'd love to take a moment to tell you guys about Head Stuff Plus. If you sign up to Head Stuff Plus, you can get bonus content for all Head Stuff shows, including Fad Camp, merch discounts and freebies, ad-free listening. Sign up on headstuffpodcast.com for as little as €5 a month. So the carnivore diet was popularized by a man called Sean Baker, MD, he's a medical doctor. And he sounds like a fancy medical doctor who knows his stuff.
So did Dr. Oz, but let's... I mean, I don't know if the episode's come out yet, but once you hear our Dr. Oz episode...
I mean, to be honest, this guy makes Dr. Oz look like, House,
I'm
just trying to think of the best doctor I could ever imagine.
House from the show House is the best doctor? What doctors have you had in your life that man would be the best doctor?
House is the Sherlock Holmes of doctors, okay? So Sean Baker, even though his surname is Baker, he hates all baked goods.
Do you know what? That's very true.
It's kind of unfortunate, isn't it? I feel bad for him. He should change that.
Do you think it's his ancestors?
Yeah,
we're all bakers, and he was like, and he's the black sheep of the family.
He is.
And he's like, I hate carbs, Mom. I'm never going to eat a carb again. I'm going to make a diet so bad for you. I don't want to even see a vegetable again. That's how much I hate carbs.
They just wanted him to take over the family bakery business, and he's just like...
I love his family are just a bunch of happy, chubby people.
He kept fucking up all the scones, He's like, oh, my scones!
Oh, I hate the gluten in this.
Yeah.
I mean,
if this was all meat, these scones would not be so problematic.
I don't know how to sieve flour. Sorry.
So Sean is an orthopedic surgeon.
Wow.
Which is basically someone who treats musculoskeletal issues, back problems, etc. He wrote a book about the diet in 2018 and started an online coaching group that works with people who want to lose weight and, change their health through the diet. So and he himself is a slightly controversial figure in the medical community. To be honest, I started looking into that. Like, there's no like major like, oh my God, he did all this terrible stuff. It's more just like there was complications with his medical license and it was revoked, and he surrendered. They tried to revoke it. He surrendered it, but eventually got it back. There's a lot of videos on his YouTube where he's explaining what's happening. So it's kind of like, okay. He's like, so anyway, then the scones, right? And so
my mother, that baker bitch, reported me. No, it's funny when like someone releases a bunch of YouTube videos, it seems like almost an offense to the point where you're like, you think something's coming down the line. Like, if you can't even find that much on about him,
I know.
And he's like, wait, I swear to God, nothing happened.
Dude, like, you're kind of hanging yourself out to dry here. But I think it's the kind of thing, because he's such a controversial figure, it is something that when people are trying to discredit him and his diet, they'll be like, oh, well, you had your medical license revoked. And then when you look into it, you're like, okay, it's not so shocking, like, when you actually look at what happened.
It could be like almost an administrative error or something.
Like, I mean, and
that's a guess now, but
right. And it's almost something that I think it's a little bit lazy on the people who go against this diet to hang their hat on, oh, well, you had your medical license revoked, right?
You're like, there's so many other things wrong with this.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So would you be surprised if I told you that he first introduced the zero carb elimination diet, on the Joe Rogan podcast?
Oh, Connor. I can't believe we've spoken about Joe Rogan so much.
We planted the seed.
Already. And it was actually premiered on that podcast.
He was just waiting to spring out and get us. You've been Roganed.
I'm hunting down vegans one by one.
That's what he says when he kills a deer in the woods. He's like, you just got Roganed. And then he sheds a tear because he's like, what have I done? Just killed this majestic animal for no reason. So he promoted this diet in on the podcast in 2017,
right?
And it absolutely blew up. And then in 2018, his book came out, right? So it's like pretty good timing. He's been on the podcast since, and he himself is a podcaster. I won't say the name of his podcast because I don't want to give him. I don't want to send all our listeners to become like full-time listeners of his show.
Every single person who listens to this podcast
they
went
just
on this diet.
Denounce Fad Camp and go for Sean Baker's Scone podcast, his Sconecast.
The secret about scones. Scones killed my family.
So you can actually, if you go to his website, you can actually right now, he has availability. You can book a consultation with him on his website. But there's a disclaimer to say that this booking, which I think is fair enough, but this booking does not constitute a medical appointment.
Listen, I'm happy he has that disclaimer.
Yes, but I do think it's a little disingenuous considering he leads so much of his talks, his writings, his podcasts with the fact that he is a doctor. Right. He says, so it's like Sean Baker, MD, and he talks about, he says, I'm not trained as a nutritionist, but I have spent a long time taking care of people, So it's kind of saying this doesn't count as a medical appointment, but I am a doctor and I am an expert here. I am qualified.
And as well, as we pointed out before in the Dr. Oz episode, the moment you say doctor,
yes,
you do lead people to believe, right, you can trust me. And then I'm an expert in this field. So again, you could be a doctor of, and I know he's a medical doctor, but you can be a doctor of theology.
Totally.
Or whatever, a doctor of, I don't know, a field. I got a doctorate in this field.
Or psychology.
And then go and give loads of advice on whatever people are eating.
And use that as the stamp of approval on your book to say, hey, I know what I'm talking about. If you want, he doesn't do this, but you can throw on a white lab coat and wear a stethoscope and say, I'm a doctor. So it just, it gives a sense of authority. It gives a sense of credibility. It gives a sense that, you know what you're talking about regarding health. And I'm not saying he doesn't know what he's talking about regarding health, but
he's not, he has to specify this isn't a medical himself, because also he's like, I'm not trained in this particular field.
But if you want to just hang out like a couple of bros, I can give you all of the medical and health advice.
Let's get a protein shake
that a friend would give you.
Yeah.
So he is a podcaster, as I said. He's an author, motivational speaker, and his website lists many, many achievements, including time spent as a military physician.
Oh, wow.
And and he holds world weightlifting records. And he is extremely anti-vegan and is quoted.
Stop.
Some of his quotes Like, someone's constantly saying, like, don't talk to them. It's like talking to a cow. They are mindless drones. And
It's like talking to a cow. What I love that analogy is that because you don't want to eat animals, he's saying, yeah, you're like that cow.
Yeah.
So you're like, well, so I don't want to eat myself? What are you trying to say?
or that we're so stupid. Like, and that quote is taken from Plant-Based News, you know, so they're not afraid to be
Yeah.
like, hey, look, here's one of our biggest kind of like, you know, opponents.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what he said about us, you know?
Oh my God, that's so funny.
In terms of the diet and people, you know, how people have actually, a lot of people are using this diet,
Yeah.
okay? If you do a deep dive on YouTube and TikTok, you'll find several videos of people who've lost hundreds of pounds
Okay.
in short spaces of time, allegedly cured chronic illnesses and lifelong allergies while following the carnivore diet.
Do you know what I find always so mad? When people are like, it cured this chronic
Right.
disability or whatever ailment I had. I'm always like, okay, I would love to see the results. Like, I'd love to see an actual like test results
I
to
know.
say that you no longer have this ailment.
Yeah.
And not because I'm not saying it might alleviate some of the like symptoms of the ailment. That's totally different. But to say that cured it is a big thing to say. And you're going to want to be like, here's the actual medical results to say, I no longer have this. And I think like, because to say that, my issue is if we go down this route, we noticed this before, like with seriously ill people who are either have developed some illness during their lives or were born with certain illnesses. It's putting the onus of that illness on them.
Sure.
It's almost being like, so you kind of choose to have this because I can cure it.
Because of your lifestyle. And
Because
diet
my
and
lifestyle
stuff.
can cure it. And so I'm like, well, let's be honest here. Like, there's no proof that you've cured it. There's proof maybe you've alleviated some symptoms. Great.
Yeah.
Delighted for you.
Yeah.
If you can get through any bit of life a bit easier and it happens to be through diet, I'm really happy for you. And it's not caused long-term effects, fine.
Yeah.
But to say you cured it, it's kind of ableist. Like, it gives sick people like almost like this fear of like, oh, I'm doing something wrong.
Everything I do has such a drastic impact on my health
Yeah.
and my condition.
So I can never just enjoy life. I can never, and then because that means that you are responsible for the illness, like you did something to have this illness. And I just think that's so dangerous. Like that's what dieting does sometimes. I'm like, some people have chronic illnesses and it's serious and they live with it in silence sometimes or in and out of hospitals during their child lives. And then someone's like, might come along and be like, hey, I just ate a ton of meat.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
what I mean? So that it's just dangerous to say I cured something.
Yeah,
That's all
and
I'm saying.
I know what you're saying. And like, because on one hand, you could say it could give someone who's suffering with something that their doctors can't seem to help them with, it could give them some hope. You know?
Could hope and like alleviate their symptoms.
Potentially,
Totally, yeah.
But I think the problem, like you're saying, is wanting the kind of like test results, wanting the scientific kind of proof of this. That's what we don't have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what we don't get in these situations. It becomes, as you'll see throughout the rest of my research, these success stories are purely anecdotal. You know,
Yeah.
there is one carnivore diet YouTuber. I hate saying it. It makes me so angry to say.
Because it's literally like against everything you
I
believe in
know.
as a vegan. So it's like it's just so funny to watch you have to be like
I
say
know.
the words.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, it cured all their problems and made them a better person. Don't do it, you know.
And I'm like, Connor's become a bigger asshole ever since he became a vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there is a carnivore YouTuber called Steak and Butter Gal. And
Love that for her.
And she documents her journey from going from poor health on a vegan diet
Okay.
to dazzling health on a carnivore diet.
I will say it seems very extreme to me that she's gone from one like total polar opposites.
Yes.
Like, how did she go from being a vegan to a total carnivore? Like, that to me almost like, not saying that she's lying or anything, but it's almost like, well, that's weird that you not even to go from just I was just eating whatever and then I went total carnivore.
Totally.
Yeah.
Join the Cast is back for its last stage. It's your turn to decide which will be your new favorite podcast. Whether you're into ghosts, fashion, GAA, anthropology, or the meaning behind names, just go to jointhecast.ie and vote for your favorite. The winner will get a podcast series worth €50,000 and will join Headstuff Podcasts. Vote now at jointhecast.ie.
Going forward. No, but
the opener to it is moo.
No, let's just underlay the sound of a farm and cows. Well, not a farm, a sanctuary. Thank you. Yeah. But basically, people who go to veganism for health reasons, are doing veganism for the wrong reasons. Okay, because people will say veganism isn't a diet; it's an ethical stance, and the diet that you happen to undertake while doing that, because it just kind of complements that. Part of, you can be a vegan and eat junk food, you know, you eat like just vegan junk food. You can eat like vegan ice cream and cake and stuff like that. And it won't be for you about, you know, quote unquote eating clean or losing weight or whatever. So the people who go to it because they heard 5-6 years ago that it was like the ultimate kind of health magic bullet, those are the people who first of all are drawn towards kind of like extreme approaches to their health, and are more likely to give up their veganism, right?
Okay, because that makes sense to me, to go from one ideology to the next. I was like, that makes no sense how you cross that so quickly.
Because you're not, because exactly. So we're not talking about vegans who are like, you know, talking about animal welfare and animal rights and all that sort of stuff, suddenly being like, actually, I'm going to eat steak every single day. It's someone who went, oh, I heard that if I was vegan, I will have perfect health. And then I was vegan and I didn't have perfect health. So what else can I just grab onto? But the way the story is told, it's like, yeah, veganism is so bad for you and, you know, so unsustainable that people are just going to flip. They're going to flip their ideals so hard. It's like, no, because you weren't doing it for idealistic reasons. That's why people always say about junk food vegans are in it for the right reasons. You know, like we're in it for the animals, you know, like to help the animals.
I'm eating a sleeve of Oreos for the animals, man.
These Oreos are going to keep me going and no animals will be harmed. But this particular YouTuber, she showed a video where she shares alleged blood results of when she was vegan and when she's on the Carnivore Diet. And then has this other doctor who promotes the carnivore keto kind of approach to health. And he goes through her blood work with her. And there's comparisons, right? And I'm not a doctor. I don't know how to, you know, I don't know the legitimacy of those blood results. And even if they were, I was told these are like totally legitimate, I wouldn't be able to go, oh, well, there's clear, you know, like differences. But in some areas, she claims like, you know, her B vitamins were much better on the Carnivore Diet. Her D vitamins, much better on the Carnivore Diet. Other things that are, you know, markers of good health, better on the Carnivore Diet. But then the cholesterol stuff, which is kind of where the vegan movement would be like, hey, cut animal products and your cholesterol will go down. People who have heart issues and stuff like that. Her cholesterol was like skyrocketing. And this doctor was like, oh no, you don't need to worry about that for all of these like sciencey reasons that I don't personally understand. So, but I'm just a person looking at YouTube. So all I can do is either go, oh, she's full of shit, I want to stay a vegan forever, or go, well, it worked for her, maybe it's going to work for me.
And isn't that so funny? Because that's the polarizing nature of the internet, which is like, it is going to make you one of two ways. Either she's full of shit, or you think like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. There's no in between. Where if she maybe went to her GP or local doctor and they saw her cholesterol, they might be like, oh, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah, but then she could try and explain, like, I wonder what their response would be. So it's just more interesting. That is interesting.
Where are the scientific studies that show us, oh, this happens and it's normal and you're okay? Or these numbers are really good, but these ones are shocking and you're on the road to, like, you know, poor health. We don't have those. We
Yeah.
don't have those scientific studies. At least I didn't
Find
come
them.
across
Yep.
any of those. So what are you going to eat on this carnivore diet?
Okay, I'm so fascinated. So it's all animal products.
All animal products. So red meat is like top
King.
of the list,
Yeah.
right? Beef, pork, lamb, with an emphasis on fattier cuts of meat.
Really?
Yeah. mhm.
Oh,
So-
mad.
yeah, 'cause-
oh, because they want the fat
To
instead
keep you
of the-
full and stuff like that, right?
Right.
Because if you're just eating meat, like protein is meant to be more filling, but the fat is really kind of what keeps people like full.
Interesting.
Other options include poultry, fish, eggs, lard, lovely. Hook me up with some of that lard, please. Bone marrow, puke, butter, salt and pepper,
Love that.
water, bone broth. And this is the one that I have seen some of my YouTube pals enjoying. Again, no shame, but organ meats. Organ meats. Apparently the liver is like highly concentrated in minerals and good stuff. And that's what they say when like a pack of like lions like take down a
Yeah.
gazelle, the like leader of the pack gets the liver.
That's so funny.
No.
I'm imagining that now the carnivores is getting a vegan. I'm like the pack of lions getting a gazelle. I'm like, that's a vegan.
Right.
They're getting a vegan.
Just going around eating plants.
Okay, so I want to ask, do they eat any dairy products like
Yes.
yogurts and cheeses?
Oh yes, that's
Yeah.
yes. So also sauces or gravies, provided they are made only with meat drippings mixed with butter or ghee, and no binders such as flour. Don't laugh at ghee, Grace.
I didn't laugh at ghee.
Okay, good.
Ghee's in Ireland it refers to fudge. But ghee, it's like a butter, is it?
It's a
Or
clarified
it's a
butter,
clarified
yeah.
butter. Is a different product, but in Ireland we're like fudge.
Milk, yogurt, and cheese. Yes, raw dairy products. Like so that's preferable.
Okay,
so like
right.
unpasteurized and stuff like
Okay,
that.
okay.
Like you're seeing people eating like taking bites out of full sticks of butter,
Stop,
which
stop,
grosses
stop,
me
stop,
out.
stop.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nasty.
Listen,
butter in
again,
the
we
coffee.
don't shame what you want to eat, but that's just a hard thing to watch.
Yeah. Oh no, we
Okay.
don't shame what you want to eat, but you're fucking gross. I'm sorry.
But a stick of butter, get your
Yeah.
life together.
Hashtag fuck milk.
Also, the amount of butter I put on my toast, I might as well just be eating the butter.
Right.
But I'm like, I use this bread as a sort of like soakage.
It's butter with a side of toast. Yeah, so it's the butter in the coffee, it's the cream, it's
yes.
those sort of things. So, and again, that's the fat, like,
Yeah.
and I saw someone making an omelet with like the most eggs, cheese, cream, because like you're also going to just have more than, if you're eating like say a more balanced diet or varied
Yeah.
diet, or even going like keto or paleo or
Yeah.
whatever. You're going to have like a few eggs and a bit of cheese,
Yeah.
like, but with this, it's like, well, I'm not eating anything else. Like, so I've got to have loads of eggs and loads of cheese, loads of steak,
All I'm asking is, right, and I know this is a lesson. Sometimes I don't have the most mature humor or thoughts, but how are these people going to the toilet? Because
Well.
it must be like they must just be constipated constantly.
Oh my
like
goodness.
this is like there's no fiber.
Because of the lack of fiber. Yeah,
There is not an ounce of fiber.
Yeah.
Get me some bran in here.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what is happening?
We need, what's her name? Gillian.
Yeah, I know. Do you know, I always say like they're so obsessed with people's poo, and now I'm
well,
like,
that's what
but
this show has done to us,
Yeah,
okay?
Now I'm like, but what about their poo?
Show me a stool sample immediately. Okay. Absolutely. Like, so the diet says it has a range of benefits, obviously from
Yeah.
weight loss being, the number one thing, to higher testosterone levels, which, Joe
Dudes.
is very happy about.
That protein.
The protein, bro. Oh, also just on food and organ meats. I was subjected to a horrendous video on YouTube, and I think everyone else needs to know what I saw.
Oh my god, are you going to show it to me now?
I'm not going to show it to you. I'm not going to. No. There's a guy. Like, do you ever watch that show? What's it called? I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
I've never actually watched
Right.
it, but like I've
I
seen
watched like a
clips, I've
season
seen
or two of
clips,
it a while back, and I had to stop because of the
They
organ.
eat a lot
meats
of
and the stuff.
yeah, and they eat a lot of like live. Like I think they start that now, but like the insects. and
They've
the
gotten a
spiders
bit of
and- yeah,
backlash
yeah,
and stuff like that
yeah.
because like the way they just treat like snakes and insects and all, and it's like, oh, these are gross insects. It's like, but like there's like a buckets full of them, like all of that life. There's a guy on YouTube who basically just does that
Yeah.
as his lifestyle, who eats weird stuff, and he was eating like raw organ meat, but the organs were like bull testicles with sticks of butter on them. And I was just like, what is this? Like, why are we doing this?
Why are people so afraid to be fat?
It's just a slice of bread.
Just be a bit fat.
It's called bread.
It's okay. Just get up in the morning, have a cup of tea or coffee, glass of water, whatever you want. Have some bread, butter. Don't have raw bull testicles and a stick of butter.
What is it, that meme that is like men would rather become Batman than go to therapy? Yeah. It's like most people would rather eat raw bull testicles and butter than be fat.
Then just be a bit fat even. Like, I mean, I swear to God, guys, I live in a chubby body. It's grand.
Oh my God.
Like, I have a great old time.
You know what? As like I said, as tempted as I was at times going, wow, look at all those people's amazing weight loss and health turnarounds and stuff. Not once have I ever been like, that's what I need to do. That is what. Even when I was a meat eater, I was never like, gotta eat them testes.
Gotta eat them testes is such a good line. Okay, gotta eat them testes.
Oh God.
What is happening to the world?
I know.
Yeah, what's so funny to me is I think we're so trained to be smaller, get thinner. That's the goal, always the goal. It makes you healthier. It's so, these are the quotes that you'll always hear.
Yeah.
That it gets to this thing where some guy's like, well, you know what the best thing to do is just eat some raw testes in the butter.
And you know what?
And still that guy might get less criticism than a fat person.
Right.
Who would go online and be like, yeah, so like today I had maybe like some porridge in the morning and I went and I had a cheese toastie at lunch, and they'll be like, you're gonna die.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
oh my God, you're a monster.
The comments under this are insane, and I'm like, that's how brainwashed we are. You know what I mean? Like that, I'm like, there's something wrong if that's...
Look, the people like who want to get higher testosterone from eating testicles, like, I mean, that's just what guys want to do, I guess.
The bros on the protein
now,
and the bull testes.
I will say about the testes one, just to clarify, that I don't think that's like your everyday carnivore diet user.
Yeah.
You know, like,
that's the extreme.
That's the extreme. That's where people get a bit out of hand.
And I will say, as a...
There's always going to be one guy. It's like people are like, oh, we have this new diet. And the guy's like, okay, amazing. So you're saying testes? And they're like, no, that's not part of it. And he's like, no, well, it technically is. They're like, okay.
Well, I got a bucket of bull testicles in here. They have to go somewhere.
Waste not, want not.
Here's the thing though as well. Like, you'll always find extremism in every, even ideologicals and all that sort of stuff. Like in veganism, I'm sure there are people who go so far in the other direction. Like you're always going to find that. And then like there's others who don't. But we're talking about this diet itself is also already quite extreme.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, how can I evolve it? Like we're saying, like, because when people first heard about the slow carb diet, when I first told people I was on the slow carb diet, they're like, whoa. But like, I was eating vegetables. I was eating beans. I mean, it was still extreme. Yeah. But like, there was, I'm trying to think what else I was eating. There was definitely,
just that lentil egg thing I had to eat in the studio.
That's kind of it. Yeah. Like, but still, to then go a step further. And also, I'm pretty sure the keto diet and definitely the slow carb diet, they have cheat days. This said nothing about a cheat day, Well,
like, what can you cheat with? What are you going to go out and buy a thing of broccoli? Do you know what I mean? Like, what's your cheat day, realistically, if, like, you're just constantly eating butter?
I know.
If you're having... Well, actually, so sweets and chocolate, I imagine, is off the table.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So, as I said, there's little to no scientific evidence for the raising of the testosterone levels. Yeah. What I have come across has been quite anecdotal. The diet has also gained attention for its potential as an anti-inflammatory diet, right? And people, like, that's a bit of a buzzword over the past few years, like inflammation, people will look at themselves in the mirror and be like, oh, my face looks puffy or my skin is red or whatever. What am I eating or what am I doing? Sometimes it's a combination of things. Sometimes it's stress, it's environmental factors, it's lack of sleep, etc.
I always think winter, my skin really reacts in winter, and then and alcohol as well. Like, sure, listen.
And sometimes if you're dealing with, like, even minor illnesses and stuff like that,
oh my God.
Inflammation is an important important part of your body's like healing process, you know, for fighting against like various things that happen in the body.
Right. So it's actually almost like a symptom of being like, right, we're fighting back on this, whatever
exactly.
it is.
But I think it's when, again, not a doctor, but when it gets out of hand, it can kind of like stay in the body and leave people like sort of like not looking or feeling their best, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of an accepted thing. So people are saying that the carnivore diet can help you with this inflammation and for people with like autoimmune conditions, right? And these claims were fueled by a lot of press coverage because this is very sensational stuff.
Yeah.
You're eating only meat. It's the carnivore diet at a time, if you think 2018 to now, there has been a lot of vegan press. Like there has been a lot of stuff around like plant-based health and stuff like that, and doctors who kind of recommend plant-based diets, meatless Mondays, all these kind of things, veganuary. So to then come out with like the opposite of that, it's like, yeah, well, this person turned their health around with the total opposite thing. So which one is right? And the press coverage that I'm going to mention in particular was around the famous lifestyle guru, the controversial character, Jordan Peterson, and his daughter, who both publicly stated, and I remember hearing this at a time, this is around when I started veganism. I didn't really know who Jordan Peterson was. Don't know much about it now. Just know that there's a lot of like, you know,
we're not going to comment on him.
Sorry?
You were not going to comment. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
But I do remember hearing, in addition to a lot of the kind of stuff that was happening online with him, he was also into this diet of meat only. And he said it was a diet of beef, salt, and water that relieved them of ailments including rheumatoid arthritis, arthritis.
Yeah.
It's not urethritis, it's arthritis. Depression.
Oh.
Anxiety, gastric reflux, and psoriasis.
Again, some of these things like anxiety and depression, you can't really prove you have been cured of because like there's no like blood test or like test that's going to be like the anxiety's gone. Arthritis, that's a fairly bold statement to make.
Yeah.
That has cured that.
It's saying that relieved the symptoms of it, right?
Fair.
And again, there are no scientific evidence to support these claims. And anti-inflammatory diets, again, not to be too on the side of veganism, but the scientific studies that have been done around plant-based diets, like not like junk food vegan diets, like the anti-inflammatory diets traditionally tend to be plant-based. Like actual research has kind of shown that. So this is more the anecdotal kind of side of stuff.
Okay.
It can be seen as an extreme form of an elimination diet because people following the diet eat only a few different foods. They eliminate many of the items that commonly cause food sensitivities like nuts, wheat, and soybeans. And they don't eliminate dairy, which is a big kind of
loads of people have issues with
sensitivity for a lot of people. So some people say, again, and this is all like a lot of speculation, that basically it's not the presence of all of this meat, it's more that's giving people the benefits, but it's the absence of other foods that they have kind of eliminated along the way.
That they may have issues with.
That they may have issues that we don't know about, that they don't know about, or that might not necessarily have been tested for, but to then give all of the credit for what's helping them to this, concocted diet.
I think as well there's something about that I find so interesting is that whenever you hear or read about the people who got to like 111.
Right.
And they're like, every day I had a pint.
Yeah.
And like, just, I don't know, had to laugh or like I went for a walk. Where are the 111 people who get to 101 who are like, do you know what I've only eaten for the last 60 years?
Yeah.
I haven't done a shit, but I've eaten 10 steaks a day.
I retained all of the food I ever ate.
And I'm pretty sure that's why I continue to live. The energy in me is insane. But what I mean is that like, it's this thing of like, we get really stuck in these like middle-y diets. Like when you look at the bigger picture of your life, I'm always like, okay, so where are the people in their 70s, 80s, 90s who have done these diets for that many decades? Where are they? Because they're not there. They're kind of people who just ate, and I'm going to say quote unquote normally, but kind of like just a very traditional, typical, whatever food was within their vicinity. No, I just find that interesting when we get into these niggledy things where people are like, yeah, this thing has helped me and cured me and all this. And I'm like, okay, cool. I want to see you in 10 years. Stick to this rigidly for 10 years and let's see what happens.
Absolutely.
Because this is all short-term thinking and short-term looking at your life. And I find that what's really interesting. Because I was saying to you yesterday, actually, when we were recording an episode, like, where are the people who've done the paleo diets? And I know some of them probably now are doing this diet. But where are they? Where are the people who are doing keto? Where are the people who are doing intermittent fasting? Because these people were shouting from the rooftops that this was changing your life a few years ago. And now you don't hear about it anymore because that's how the media works.
Yeah.
The media goes, these people are doing this. It's the new thing, blah, blah, blah. Wait another 6 months. Oh my God, these people are doing this. This is the new thing. And you don't hear about the people who were doing the thing before. It is all short-term thinking. And I start to look at now life as, it's short, but it's long. Okay, where are the people who are in pretty good nick at 80, 90, who have luckily maybe not gotten terminal illnesses or not had other ailments?
Yes.
I'm not saying like, because that's not to blame. What were they up to? And a lot of them are just like, yeah, I had a glass of red every day. Or maybe like occasionally went for walks, basically spent time with people. Do you know what it is? It tends to be people who are just happy with their lot in life or less stress. I think stress plays such a thing on so many ailments we have in our bodies and stuff. But like, I can't prove that either. So all I'm saying is that like, when I look at people, I'm like, who are the people who are in pretty good nick at those ages? What were they doing? And I fucking highly doubt they were eating bull testicles and butter.
And you know what? You're 100% right. Sorry, I just love that that's become the...
Bull testicles and butter. I think it should be on our new tote bag.
But I think you're totally right, because the people who do live long and relatively healthy lives, they're not living in the extremes.
Yeah.
You know, they're not running Ironman ultra marathons. They're not, you know, doing...
Maybe some of them are, but like not from what we've
Not from
seen.
what we see.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's rare that you see like one of those interviews with someone who's like over 100 and I'm like, so what's your secret? They never once are like, well, let me tell you. Okay, this is what I did from age 20 to 60.
Yeah.
You know,
I ran in the Sahara Desert. Like,
it's
no.
the most kind of sort of like mild-mannered, minimalist, like you say, went for walks, you know, like enjoyed my food but didn't go crazy, you know, like...
Or I don't know, there was something, I think whenever you read about them, there's a certain calmness to them.
Totally.
And I think
it's a sense of balance.
It's a sense of balance, which like, you know, with fad camp, these diets don't promote balance at all. And it's something that, by the way, because we've grown up in diets, I'm always going to struggle with balance. I'm always going to struggle with finding, particularly with food. But that's okay. And actually, the more I accept it, the more calm I become. So I think, I don't know, it's just when you hear about these extremes, all I want to do is remind people like, this is a bubble of time.
Yeah.
And it's the next diet's probably going to be called something different and mildly different from this, but the same thing. And am I going to hear from these people again who are on this now? I don't think so, because that's not how the media works.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So like I said in the beginning, I did struggle at times when I was like researching this, not just the bull testes of it all, but you know, we've probably mentioned over the course of this show at times, before and after pictures, you know, which are the bread and butter of the diet world. Sorry, not bread and butter, steak.
Bull testes and butter of the diet world.
But these social media pics that show drastic weight loss with people claiming to have lost hundreds of pounds in the space of a year on the diet, you know? So it's hard not to look at those things and go, oh my God, like they're really getting a lot of results. And like I say, even being super passionate about veganism and doing so, like I say, for animal ethical reasons to reduce the suffering of animals, my own sensitivity around weight and diet was like tempted and stuff here. And if I didn't have such strong ethical beliefs, like you
would have gone out and slaughtered a cow right then and there. Yeah.
I could have been if this was like a different diet that like people were showing these kind of results around like
any plant-based diet you're looking at.
Like,
yeah.
This like the tofu only diet. I'd be like, Grace, all I eat now is tofu. You know what I mean? I could like that's how convincing these things can be. And I have to, you know, so I'm in some ways I'm insulated because of like my veganism, right?
Yeah.
But as a person and as like a heavy person and someone who is conscious of weight and diets and all those sort of things, very vulnerable.
Yeah.
Very vulnerable. And so that's why I think in a lot of ways it was really good for me to actually go through this episode and look at the research or lack of research and hear kind of what experts are saying. Apparently, according to registered dietitian at the Ohio State University, there are a lot of downsides to the carnivore diet.
Okay. Surprise. First of all, there's not a bull in this county that has testicles. They've all been taken off. I mean, it's an epidemic of a lack of bull testicles.
Where are you going to find anything to eat?
Like, what are we going to do? All the testes are gone. Sorry, go on. What's the downsides?
So, registered dietitian Liz Wynandy, that's a new one for
great
me.
Name.
She says, we have multiple food groups for a reason. They each provide us with a range of nutrients. Duh.
Yeah.
Humans are omnivores. A lot of people will say that humans are carnivores because we've got like sharp, pointy teeth, like the carnivores in the jungle. But there's, arguments against that. But because we are believed to be omnivores, it means we derive nutrients from a variety of foods, both animal and plant-based.
Right.
Eating only one food group is a problem, no matter which one, even if it's just vegetables. Right?
Okay.
You're going to limit yourself. If you limit yourself to all meat, you can run low on certain nutrients that are abundant in plants, like vitamin C and vitamin E. I guess people would probably just like supplement in that case, like if they're like on a carnivore diet. Although some anecdotal reports suggest that constipation isn't a problem on a carnivore diet. People are like, there's no problem with constipation. You are missing out on fiber, like you called it. A nutrient important for colonic health, says Wine a Day. Plus, a diet high in red and processed meats has been linked to an increased risk of gastric cancer, and a lot of like meats and processed meats, things like bacon and stuff like that, have something like a 400% risk of developing various cancers. But like those figures aren't super like damning. If you look at like how much chances you have of developing lung cancer from smoking cigarettes, it's like fucking 10,000%. Do you know what I mean?
Okay,
like
right. Yes.
I don't have those exact figures right now.
Some listener right now eating bacon and having a smoke, being like, oh
god. Also, eating a large amount of meat protein can also put undue stress on the kidneys.
Right.
So that's something that you hear. And then even when I was on high protein diets, like my mom was like, your kidneys and all,
I love that impression of your mom.
Well, that's basically, I was like, Mom, did you?
Oh my God, it's Connor's mom in the studio.
And then, of course, another consideration, extreme restriction or labeling foods good or bad can also set off disordered eating behaviors or full-blown eating disorders, Wine-A-Day says. What's more, an abundance of fruits and vegetables has been scientifically linked to increased happiness, life satisfaction, and well-being. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if I ate more fruits and vegetables, I might be happier. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I think so. I mean, I don't know.
And then in terms of the practicalities of it, like you'd have to eat a lot of lean protein to get enough calories in a day. Focusing on lean protein, poultry or fish like chicken breast and cod may also prevent you from entering ketosis, which is kind of what they're all aiming for.
Right.
And if you want to be in ketosis, you'll need to opt for fattier meats rather than filling up on like skinless chicken breast. But again, there's limited research on how healthy this is overall. Many experts are worried about the risks of saturated fat for meats like fatty steaks and bacon, which is also one of the main concerns with a keto diet. Like I was saying about those higher cholesterol levels, which can lead to like blocked arteries and heart disease. While the risks of dietary saturated fat are being debated, as we know, like Dr. Oz saying, like, we thought it was low fat, now we're not sure. Oh my God,
yeah. Like when our Dr. Oz episode, which we don't know whether this is going to be before or after this episode comes out, but yeah, there's basically where he goes like, oh, for years we were telling people low-fat diets were the way to go. Now we know they're not. And I was like, I was so angry when I heard that because I was like, that was so flippant.
Absolutely.
So flippant.
Well, that's like, and we touched on it in the Dr. Oz episode, like we grew up in an era where low-fat was like God.
Yeah.
And now in our middle age.
Connor,
Grace.
excuse you. Yeah, Connor, back off.
I know.
Why are you coming at me today?
We're middle age. I know. It's sad. But now it's like fat. People are like talking about getting that fat, and the nutrition community are kind of divided on it. Again, because this diet is quite new. I know 2018 is like 6 years ago now at this stage, which is quite shocking. But there's little writings about it. There's not a huge. There's YouTubers. There's the guy's book. There's a few doctors who are proponing it, but there's not many people like writing about it. So I have some information on the dangers of the keto diet.
Right.
You know, because
Yeah.
it's basically, this is just like, this is like one step further than
Yeah,
the keto
yeah,
diet.
yeah, yeah.
Because like even at the start, when I was telling you about the carnivore diet and you were saying like fats and stuff like that,
Yeah.
you were saying like nuts and avocados. No nuts, no avocados, but like ketos will go for that. So here are some of the health risks associated with the keto diet. So serious muscle loss is a possible side effect of the keto diet, surprisingly, even though like, you would look at Sean Baker and go, oh my God, that man will murder me with his muscles. That's just, you know, my imagination, my dark fantasy. Keto can put stress on the kidneys and give you kidney stones. Cutting out all of these food groups can make you lose out on important things that help you fight diseases, things like vitamin C and you know, fiber and stuff. The possibility of low blood sugar can make keto risky for people with diabetes. Again, it's carnivore is the type of thing that people who like are like pre-diabetic or have like type 2 diabetes will be like maybe steered towards because you know, it's supposed to miraculously kind of like help you heal those things. Because it's hard to follow, keto can lead to yo-yo dieting. You know, obviously because it's so extreme. And again, like,
and this is more extreme than keto. And that's like saying something. Absolutely.
And like people will always say like, oh, like you're vegan, it must be so hard to like, you know, find stuff to eat. And I'm like, I feel like I can always piece together some kind of meal, or if I go to a restaurant, there'll always be a vegan option. Like if you go to a restaurant or go to someone's house, are you just like, okay, you know, all of the stuff you have, don't give me that. Just give me one piece of meat, because you're not going to give me a stick of butter. You're not going to make me a plate of eggs. Like, you know? I
feel like now what you would do is just go to a French restaurant, because I actually think like this is basically a French like cuisine.
Is this
dream.
why French women don't get fat? Is this? It's come full circle.
Yeah.
The ketogenic diet can lead to dehydration and loss of electrolytes because, you know, the various other food groups and carbs and stuff help you like hold on to water. And again, when I was on the slow carb diet, I was recommended on the slow carb diet to drink not one of these a day, but 2 of these a day.
Hey guys, you can't see what Connor's holding up, but he's holding up a vat of water. Like, it's insane.
It's sloshing around there. This is 2 liters. So on the slow carb diet, I was recommended to drink 4 liters of water a day.
Oh my God. It's like, do you know when like someone says something, you're like, I need to pee.
Absolutely. Is anyone else's bladder feel full right now? You know, so because the other foods that you typically eat, and foods even high in salt and carbs, will kind of retain a bit water, hence like water weight and stuff like that. But when you're just eating meat, the water just like flies through you, so you struggle to hold on to it. Strictly limiting carbs, you may develop nutrient deficiencies. Bowel problems such as constipation are common on keto. I've also heard people talk about something called keto crotch. I don't know what that is. I don't feel like adding that to my Google search algorithm is already destroyed enough. But if anyone knows what that is, maybe let us know. As your body adjusts to ketos, you'll probably have like bad breath. I've heard of that.
Yes. I heard about that on the, what's the other one that was before keto? Begins with an A. Atkins. But a lot of people talk about bad breath on Atkins.
Wow, okay. I have heard that. I have heard that.
And that's, again, very high protein.
Because I think that is to do with the acidity that happens in your stomach. And look, I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent, but like your gut microbiome, which I know is your favorite subject.
Absolutely.
Like the bacteria in your stomach, that thrives on the fibers of plant foods, you know, so no matter what your stance is and ethics, like, you know, the microbiome needs fiber that you get from fruits, nuts, vegetables, etc. Things like meat and dairy, it kind of doesn't really like, you know, react to like, or doesn't really thrive on. But so it creates this kind of acidic environment in your digestive system, hence the bad breath and keto crotch.
And Atkins, I suppose, would be like the first softer version of keto and the carnivore diet. Yeah, absolutely.
Lastly, may lead to high cholesterol and increased risk of heart disease.
Well, luckily, not all men are basically doing this, because heart disease is really high in men.
Yes, exactly. Oh, there was one more thing. It could, your period on keto might undergo some changes. So, you know.
You're joking.
It affects the ladies.
It affects, are you telling me diets affect the periods? That's insane.
So, Grace, I mean, this topic was definitely a journey for me.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I don't disqualify the effects that are the benefits that people are having, but even just from talking this out and all of the episodes we've done, I feel like any extreme change, most extreme changes to your diet can appear to give you short-term effects. But as we know, after a while, your body adjusts, or this extreme change becomes difficult to maintain and sustain. And then what do you do?
Yeah. Or your body reacts.
Or your body has a bad reaction.
Yeah.
And because this is such a new diet, 2018 is kind of, roughly around the period when it came out, we don't know what the long-term effects are.
Yeah.
We do know that the guy who created the Atkins diet died of a heart attack.
Yeah, I one thing I'd always say as well, you're so good to say, like, you don't discount the benefits, but I'm going to say the benefits as well. If your benefit number one is just losing weight, I have to ask you why you want to lose weight. So like, we're not talking about people who might be pre-diabetic who, if they're being told by healthcare professionals to try something, fine, go. Like, I don't have those ailments, so I don't know what that's like. But I think just like when someone's like, the best benefit is you lose weight, I have to ask you why you're losing weight and why it has to be something so extreme. So what's going on that like it can't be other types? If you want to lose weight, why can't it be something a bit gentler, something that's not like, to me, more extreme than Atkins, more extreme than keto, that this is the only way it's going to work? Because with going to any extreme, there's always a bounce back, any pendulum swing, and the bounce back, we know from diets we've done, can leave you in places that were worse than where you began. So worse in whatever way, you know what I mean, it means to you. That's always what I am concerned about with any kind of extreme thing. Like, again, we're like, do whatever you want with your body. Like, it's your body. But just ask yourself the questions about what's so wrong with where you are now that you're willing to eat some bull testicles and butter.
And be nicer to vegans.
Hey! Full milk.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Fad Camp. As always, we want to thank our producer, Darren Lee. If you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to review us on iTunes, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Great ratings and reviews really help more people find the show, and it would mean a lot to us.
Make sure to share the episodes with friends and family or on your social media. Every listen helps.
And we absolutely love hearing from our listeners, so please get in touch with any of your diet stories on fadcamppodcast@gmail.com.
This show is part of the Head Stuff Podcast Network, a hub for the creative and the curious. Shows are produced in association with Head Stuff and the Podcast Studios Dublin. Find out more or become a member at headstuffpodcasts.com.